Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back with a wild eye review of Bonehill Road. Bonehill Road is a 2017 horror film written, edited, and directed by Todd Sheets. And of course, it was distributed by Wild Eye Releasing. This one has gotten a lot of praise, and I mean a lot of praise. In fact, it may have been overhyped for me. Now, that's not to say I didn't like it, because I did. But with the way people talk about this one, you would think it's the next John Carpenter's Halloween. I know, completely different types of movies, I get that. But Bonehill Road is sort of a slasher on top of being a werewolf film. No, really, it's like two movies in one. But it works. It follows the story of Emily Stevens, who is in an abusive relationship with her daughter Eden's father. After a particularly physical altercation with her on and off again significant other, Emily decides to get away once and for all. She and Eden escape in the truck to leave the domestic abuse behind. They start on their way to Emily's father and Eden's grandfather's house. But on the way, they encounter something even more horrific. And it just keeps getting worse. If you ever think you're having a bad day, you should probably watch this movie. Because Emily and Eden are having a very bad day, and an even worse night. Their truck is attacked in the woods by what at first they think to be a bear. They quickly realize, however, it wasn't a bear at all. As if escaping Eden's abusive father wasn't enough, now Emily and her daughter must escape a pack of werewolves. But that's still not all. They find a house in the woods and enter for safety. But what they find instead are the victims of a psychotic maniac. Linnea Quigley has a small role as one of the victims. The killer is actually a guy they passed in their travels at a rest stop. And this guy is an off-the-wall loon. Not only does he slice and slash his victims, but he guts them too. He then force-feeds them pieces of their own flesh, while he eats as well. Emily and Eden find themselves trapped inside the house with the madman, but the even bigger threat may be outside. Even if they manage to escape yet another dangerous situation, how will they ever survive the pack of werewolves waiting to feast? Oh, and by the way, it all takes place on Bonehill Road. So, like I said, it's slasher film meets werewolf movie. That's the thing I probably like most about it. It's creative. How many different slasher films can you make, and how many different werewolf films can you make? But put them together, and you have something new. Sure, there are other examples of that sort of hybrid, like Silver Bullet, but it really does work in Bonehill Road as well. I also really like the look of the werewolves in this film. Even with the low budget, they don't look too cheap. And the werewolf transformation is absolutely brutal. It's reminiscent of An American Werewolf in London, and you can tell that's what they were going for. Now, the acting, well, it's okay. I'm probably being generous describing it as okay, but okay. There are some really good practical effects. Gorehounds will enjoy it. There's a little bit of nudity with one of the victims in a bathtub. In fact, at one point, there's just a straight nipple shot that came across my entire TV screen. Talk about a focused lens. I do have to say, however, I was a bit surprised by the ending. It just sort of happened so quickly. I wasn't expecting it to end when it did. Overall, though, Bonehill Road was a fun time, and if any of this sounded appealing to you, I highly recommend checking it out. I won't overhype it like a lot of other people, but it was a worthy effort. I will also say that I do see myself revisiting this one more often than not, so that says something. Big shout out to Wild Eye for releasing movies like this. They need to be seen, and it's inspiring. Have you seen Bonehill Road? If so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. Be kind, subscribe.